Hi everyone, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Hopefully this one is, it seems like fun is going to be the theme for this afternoon's presentation. So sit back and relax. I'm going to take that down, not quite as tall as Rach A. So in today's presentation, I'm going to cover off what the Inner West CRC rap video was, how it came about, and the approach and implementation, the results and impact, and how your council can benefit most importantly. So the Inner West CRC rap video was an innovative, award-winning social media campaign aimed at increasing visitation to our CRCs. It included a number of elements that set this project apart from many other similar behaviour change interventions, and those included the fact that it was heavily data-driven, and we're going to be covering that off a little bit more in the following slides. It was a great use of council funds, and you'll get to see some insight into that in the results and impact section. I've got a lot of clicks in this presentation, so hang with me. It was very collaborative, and it's also highly scalable, which is where all of you will come in. Now, whether you've seen it already or not, it's my pleasure to present to you the Inner West CRC rap video, just to set a bit of context for today.
You know that we have a problem, so listen up now and let's
feel free to dance. If we have any break dancers, we've got the stage at the front here for you.
Globally, we need to do our best so singles, couples, and whole families can drop off recycling at the CRC. Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC. Everything in sight, do your bit, don't quit and drop problem waste. So come on, it's free at the CRC. Disposing responsibly is the key. Paints, car and household batteries, we'll accept them happily. Gas bottles, aerosols and smoke detectors too. We've got your back. Trust us. Oils like globes and fluoro tubes, fire extinguishers and mechanical lubes. Problem waste, that's some nasty stuff. Think you don't create waste, we'll call your bluff. Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC. Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC.
Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC. Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC.
Stop problem waste going to landfill. It's serious, everyone. Don't just chill, don't bin it. Instead, come in to drive through. Our future generations will thank you.
Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC. Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC. Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC. Let's get it recycled, drop it off for free. It's easy, it's quick at the CRC.
There you have it. Now, I've watched that literally dozens of times, and I enjoy it just as much every single time. So to provide a bit of strategic context, this project aligned with our zero waste strategy, which was also informed by our community strategic plan. And the targets that it addressed was to reduce the amount of hazardous waste presented in the garbage stream by 80% by the year 2036, and also to increase the recycling of televisions and computers by 80% by the year 2036. Another target that it addressed was Sustainable Development Goal, or rather goal that it addressed, which was linked specifically to the sound management of chemicals and hazardous wastes. Now, the overarching goal for our project, was to increase the responsible disposal of chemicals and hazardous waste, or as we know, the EPA preferred terminology is problem wastes. And we could achieve this through the following objectives. So we aim to deliver an innovative, targeted social media campaign that would increase visitation to our CRCs by 10%, and aimed also to reduce bycatch, or things that are out of scope or not accepted, by 10%. So the data couldn't be ignored. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the growing concern of fires in our facilities and collection vehicles. It's been a real focus of this conference, as we know, and the threat these pose to our waste workers and our infrastructure. And that, as I mentioned, that's been a huge focus. Now, around the time the project was incepted, so a couple of years ago now, at that time, there was a Cleanaway report that reported 180 fires over a 6-month period. As we know, that's absolutely exploded in the last sort of 3 years since then, to more than, between that 10 and 12,000 fires in Yass last year alone. Now, Council undertakes 3 yearly waste segregation audits as part of our SSROC contract, and when we look at the hazardous waste constituent of those audits, we find that batteries, no surprise there, account for, they're the most common material type in terms of the hazardous waste. Now, we've got a really young community in the Inner West, so the median age is 38. And also, when we look at the actual breakdown of categories, it was really interesting in the presentation, in Tiffany's presentation, in the education stream 1, similar age, and looking at the age bracket of 18 to 34 years, very similar percentage as well. So about 30% of Inner Westies fit into that age bracket, so almost a third. But the interesting thing is when we actually look at the user surveys, at the data, so there's user surveys conducted by operations staff at the CRCs, more reliable at St Peter's. Leichhardt is a bit more challenging because it also operates as a transfer station, so there's a bit of crossover there. But we also have some user surveys conducted by the EPA, a company Ipsos on behalf of the EPA, and when we look at that data, that age group only accounts for about 5 to 6% of the patrons visiting our CRC, so a huge opportunity presenting itself there. So how do we reach these young people? Well, I'm sure it comes as no surprise to you, and again, as Tiff talked about in the last last stream's presentation, our research shows that this demographic consumes most of their council-related news and information from social media platforms. So at this stage, we had a clearly defined target materials. So we were targeting problem waste, e-waste, and all of the hazardous wastes that are accepted at our CRCs. We had a clearly defined target audience. Now, we know how easy it is to get stuck into thinking that everyone is our target audience. In the instance of a recycling campaign, we want everyone to recycle better and recycle more, right? But as we know, if there's one thing we've learned from Behaviour Works Australia, big fan, it's that the more narrow we can make our scope, the more we can hone in on a very specific target audience, whether that's, an age group or a cultural background, we have more opportunity to design a tailored campaign that's really going to address their specific motivators, barriers, interests, and values. So we're targeting those 18 to 34-year-olds. And we had our delivery mechanisms, social media campaign. So at this stage, we had the makings of a great campaign and we were ready to go. Now, in this image here, the woman you see that you saw in the video as well, this is Jenny Mandukas. She is a highly creative senior project officer in my team. She's got a marketing background, which I'm sure you can see from the results here, serves her very well in this role. And she actually wrote every word of this catchy track. So she incepted the idea and project manager saw it from beginning to end, including that songwriting. And that, of course, is one of the key planning steps, is getting yourself a hot track. Next was the procurement piece, so we engaged Impress Design through a formal RFQ process. They're a local Marrickville media agency with extensive experience. We were really impressed with the work that they delivered, and they were just absolutely fantastic to work through. So if you're in Sydney, highly recommend. And next we needed some backing. We needed a fat beat, right? So we got a licensed audio track that we purchased online from Mixler Production, and the name of that track was On Me. And finally, we needed legal approval. So we needed to ensure that we'd dotted all our I's, crossed all our T's to make sure that we could move ahead with this project. and action. So the CRC rap video, as I'm sure you saw there, featured messaging that was fun, it's informative, light-hearted, and it used a hip-hop based beat and a repetitive call to action hook. A range of ages and genders were promoted to encourage and promote inclusivity and also to demonstrate our very vibrant and very multicultural inner West community. In-studio recording took place, and this was completed in about, I think it was 5 to 6 hours in total, with some recording separately, some together, and then all together to kind of smooth it out at the end, and a 2-day photo shoot. And I cannot impress enough how much fun this was. So this was the most exciting, fun and creative project our team has worked on in years, and the enthusiasm of the teams involved really shines through in the final product, I'm sure you can agree. So we wanted to give you just a little bit of a peek behind the scenes so you can see for yourself how much fun was had by everybody.
Hi guys, we're at St. Peter's CRC filming the Inner West CRC rap.
Can you make it slow so they look heavy-ish rather than?
Oh, this is hidden.
Murder many melons.
Hey, cop, an asshole.
Good times, and I've just spied one of our stars from this video. So Anna, who used to work with us and is now part of the great Fogo team at Penrith, is one of the stars. Give her a hand. And her son as well, who was absolutely fantastic. He is a star in the making, I must say. And the results are in. So it's great that we had fun and stuff. But how did it go? This rap video demonstrates that a unique, innovative and creative approach can equal highly cost-effective, tangible behaviour change outcomes. We played this on lots of popular social media platforms, which I'll take you through shortly. It was also aired on in our libraries, service centres, aquatic centres on the screens there. We promoted it in print and e-newsletters, and it's permanently housed on our CRC page. And it delivered outstanding results across all metrics. So in terms of the likes, the views, so the social stats. So last time we checked, so this is probably about 6 months old, but over 20,500 views for this for the video, attracting nearly 1,200 likes, over 60 comments, over 224 shares, and at a total project spend of almost $18,400 end to end. That works out at being about 90 cents per view or per engagement, which was what we thought was a really great return on investment. And when we have a look at the breakdown on those social media platforms, you can see there that Instagram was the most popular in terms of most frequently viewed. The most likes were seen on Facebook, and the most shares on Instagram again. And it was interesting to hear again, and that feeds back into what Tiffany was saying in terms of Instagram and TikTok being their two platforms that they were really targeting. So worked for us too. And again, it's all well and good to get likes and nice comments. That's nice. But the question is, did it actually help us in achieving what we set out to do, which was to increase the responsible disposal of hazardous and problem wastes? Well, in the first month following the airing of that campaign, we saw a huge increase in the vehicle traffic. So we had, it's really small there, great, I'll look up here, 42% increase in vehicle traffic at the St. Peter's Community Recycling Centre and a 17% increase at the Leichhardt Community Recycling Centre. So an amazing immediate impact, but we were also curious to see if there was some sustained improvement. So we looked at that financial year as a whole, and there was still a big improvement at the St. Peter's depot of 29%. Interestingly, the data showed no real difference in the Leichhardt depot. As I mentioned, there can be some issues with data accuracy at that site, but we can only go with what the data says. So apparently flat, and we'll keep an eye on that. In terms of the tonnages received, goes over the weighbridge. Again, we had some great immediate results with a 17% increase at St Peter's and a 19% increase at Leichhardt. And then looking at the financial year snapshot, we had a 6% increase at St Peter's and 11% at Leichhardt. So when we think back to that original target of wanting to increase our visitation by 10% in that first month following the video, you can see we smashed it out of the ballpark, and there was some great sustained results as well. Now, the bycatch was another story. Wasn't really any impact on that. So very minor improvement at the St Peter's depot, very minor non-improvement at the Leichhardt, so no real difference there. Some of the feedback from some of the attendants is about needing a bit of extra training for confidence building to turn away some of the items that are outside of scope, particularly with e-waste, the National Television and Computer Scheme. Now, it's always great to get recognised for the wonderful work that we all do, and we were very humbled to receive a couple of great awards. So the first being the Local Government Excellence in the Environment Award in 2023, so that was for the behaviour change category. And we also took out the National Award for Local Government in the behaviour change category as well, which we were thrilled about. Oh, thank you. Yay! And we were pleased to have come runner-up, or finalists, into communication-specific awards as well. So the first being the R.H. Doherty Awards, and the second in the communications category of the New South Wales Sustainability Awards. So, by embracing innovation, collaboration, and social responsibility, the CRC Wrap video leaves a meaningful and enduring impact. It was so well received by by residents, students too, I'm sure, our Inner West colleagues and industry peers. We'd not anticipated the amazing buzz it would create, but we were absolutely chuffed. And some of the comments coming up on the screen now were received on socials or directly via email. So we actually gave an advanced screening to the council staff during our GM Q&A session, which was really fun. And we got just some amazing feedback after that. Following that, we launched it to the community on socials platforms, and then we also shared it with our industry via the Waste Educators Network email group. Love that email group and all the questions that come through and all the debates and sharing on that group. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. We received so many positive comments. We even got, jokes coming through about potential rap battles or, rap video 2.0, and one of the other great things was how much it improved cross-council collaboration, most importantly between the operations and planning teams. I don't know about yourself and your councils, but sometimes there can be a little bit of friction there because of just different day-to-day challenges and different goals, different focuses. But that's something that this really helped with. We had extras from all over council, some from customer service, from ICT, places like that, and the bonds that were forged through this project exist today, some 18 months on, and that's really great. And at the end of the day, this is what we want because, it's enthusiasm we want to ignite, not batteries in our bins. So next steps, I'm pleased to say that the CRC Wrap video is coming to a cinema near you, provided you live in the Inner West or in Burwood or in... I just had an absolute blank, even though that is the one I'm most familiar with. Oh, go forward. Canada Bay. My goodness. There we go. So from the extended video, a 30-second sizzle reel was developed, so that can be used on socials or for promotional purposes. So that's going to be aired in the Dendy and the Palace cinemas in the Inner West. It will be targeting blockbusters, so again to feed back into that 18 to 34 target audience where that captive audience we're hoping to captivate rather. And as I mentioned, so it's going to be also at Rhodes Cinema and Event Cinemas Burwood because they share a CRC. And in terms of next steps, we're also hoping to explore digital advertising opportunities, putting it on sites like news.com.au, Gumtree, eBay, things like that. And that will be directed to an SS Rock centralised CRC page. and that will be developed by a contractor. So this will be, it'll be airing in cinemas in the coming weeks and months. I'm sad to report that after some funding delays of about 18 months, we finally got it. We were so excited. It's the day it started in cinemas, and that week, guess what? Facility fire, CRC closed. So we were very fortunate that the media partner that we were working with, it had been factored into the programming already for us. So I think it was only a week that it was running where our CRC was actually closed. But anyway, it's up and running now, which is what's important. So we're going to get back on board with that and really excited to see what will come from that. And this is the part that I want to invite you all to. So the proof is in the pudding, people. The public love this rap video, and it really works. There's been a lot of talk about the need for more collaboration in our industry, and we want to maximise the outcomes of this great campaign. So we invite all of you to get on board so that we can all do our bit to tackle this growing issue of problem waste and batteries in our bins. You can either use it as is, shout out to Blacktown Council who already did this, so shared it and credited it in West Council. Of course, there'll be our details there. Or we can provide it to you as an MP4 file where you can change this final slide, update it with your own details. And there's also that great opportunity for you to add some frames that highlight your local area. And that was something Kate and Costa were talking about the importance of making things hyper-local. So there's definitely a lot of value in including recognisable places in your own area. And look, with the challenges that we've had with all these closed, CRC closures, pleased to say that, all of them are, mostly back online. And what better a way to promote that the CRCs are back and better than ever than by using this sizzle reel and having a really fun campaign to draw attention to it. The only thing we ask is that you please credit Inner West Council and also the EPA because they funded this project. So get in touch with either the project manager, Jenny Mandukas, who is a songwriter, rapper and project manager extraordinaire, and somehow manages to fit in her day job of Senior Resource Recovery Officer as well. Or you may reach out to me as well, and there's both of our details there. Look, it's time to think beyond the usual flyers and letters, signage, posters and rates notice. And if there's one sentiment that I could leave you all with today, and it's interesting because I can't recall which one, but actually I think it was Kate in her presentation with Costa who used these first two words, which is be brave, be different, and be different, and be memorable. Thank you.